Out of Left Field is brought to you in part by Coordinated Health, Hazleton Campus. Welcome to another edition of Out of Left Field, where we take a different look at local sports. I'm Cara, and I thank you for watching. If you read the Hazleton Standard Speaker Sports page, you've probably seen some photos by Bob Gaetano. His photos don't move, but they'll move you. He has a talent for capturing the feeling of a moment and the personality of athletes. Following sports photojournalist Bob Gaetano around at this cross-country meet is like being with a photographer for National Geographic in the Serengeti. I continuously swat bugs away as I try to keep up with Gaetano. He's keeping a pace that would impress some of the runners on the course, and it's also he's in position to get the best shots. He moves from location to location with the precision of a painter finishing a masterpiece. It would seem mechanical if not for his warmth. Gaetano cares not only about taking great photos, but also about the people in them. Before the girls' race, we try to sneak up on a pack of comets. Gaetano is looking for a candid shot of sophomore star Molly DiMarzo of Crestwood.
I did kind of sneak up on her and try to get the picture of her putting on her track spikes, her running shoes. And I was trying to capture that moment, the element of candid, so to speak. But she did look up and she saw me. She did catch me, and when she caught me, I just said, oh, I was hoping to get it candid. I know how you hate having your picture taken. And she goes, oh, I don't mind now because I have my braces off. So I said, well, let's see them, and she gave me a nice cheesy smile, and I did snap a picture, put it on Instagram and on Facebook, and of course her mother loved it, and I'm hoping that she loved it as well, because it's a really nice picture of her, and I'm very happy that she got her braces off, so I look forward to a lot more smiles.
Later at the meet, Gaetano breaks his stride to show DiMarzo's mom his work. After the meet, he gets a message on Facebook from her asking for the photo to put in her daughter's scrapbook.
The kids trust you, knowing that you're going to take a picture that's going to be decent, and hopefully not put it up and post it if it's not a good photo. But I think that the interaction with the kids from week to week when I get to see them helps a lot. When they know I'm there, they have a presence of the camera, not that the camera is controlling what they do during their event, etc. But they do know it's there, and they know that I'm there, and they also know that I post the photos on Instagram and Facebook so that their classmates can see, and their memories that they're going to be able to hold on forever, and their parents. It's memories that I'm able to capture for them. So I know I'm comfortable going to an event because I know that what I'm doing is good for the kids and good for the parents. And there's a lot of things that kids do that are great, and they need to get out and tell everybody about it. And I think my photos hopefully do that.
The day after the Hazleton Area High School softball team lost in the 2019 state championship game, one of Gaetano's photos appeared on the front page of the Hazleton Standard Speaker. It doesn't show any action on the field, but it clearly illustrates the fun-loving, competitive, supportive nature of the Lady Cougars and one of their star players, Marissa Trivalpiece.
I think hats off to the Standard Speaker as well, because they've given me the opportunity to publish some photos like that. They aren't looking for that just regular picture nowadays of an action shot. Yes, they like to have that as well, but I think that picture, the one you're talking about, she was leaning out of the dugout, I believe, and she did have the gnome on her head and possibly even a rally cap on with it. Because they were down by a run, and that was the like 7.5 or 8 hour game with all the rain delays that unfortunately Hazleton finished on the short end of it. But what a game, what a season. I enjoyed just being able to go to all those games and build those relationships with the kids. I don't think they feel that I'm trying to capture them in a sad moment either. Yes, they were losing the game, but I was still looking for the pictures that presented the positive, not the negative. And I think that there was a lot of positive with those kids because they are the epitome of a team that has gelled together. They're friends. They're going to be best friends forever. And I'm fortunate to be able to go to those games and capture those moments.
Gaetano grew up playing sports, and he even wrestled in college. He eventually became a coach, an athletic director, a principal, and a school district superintendent. Oh yeah, and he taught fine arts. Gaetano's photos not only capture personality, but also the many emotions of sport, like the joy of being part of a team.
When I picked up the camera, they actually put their arms around each other and they added a little bit more to the photo. So they made the photo for me. But yeah, they were just hanging out and relaxed. And it's pictures like that that I think the kids really enjoy. Sure, they love that action shot of them, making a diving play or running to left field and making that fly ball catch, or hitting the ball that happens to be the home run. I've been lucky enough to capture a few of those. But yeah, the candid moments with those with your teammates, that photo in particular, I think that they will probably look back at that when they're 50 years old and say, oh my gosh, I remember that day like it was yesterday.
His photos also capture defeat, determination, and compassion.
That was actually at the state track and field meet. I'm not really sure who either one of them are, but the picture I felt captured a lot of emotion. So I did post it. I think that they found it, the young lady I think found it on Instagram, but it was also on Facebook. I think that's where you pulled it from. And it was after a race, and the young lady did not win, but she was close and lost at the very end, but she gave it her all and ended up tripping at the finish line. And when she did, she did immediately get up. She didn't stay down, which was impressive. And when she did that, official, or the trainer, I'm not sure which it was very quick to lend a helping hand and keep her on her feet. And it was just in a moment that captured sport, in my opinion. An athlete that was gave it her all. She was somewhat in distress, and she had a person who's there promoting the sport, looking out for them, immediately grab a hold of her and help her out.
Gaetano posts his work on Instagram and Facebook, and he gets instant feedback from the athletes, their friends, and their families. I asked him what was the nicest thing someone said about his work, and he remembered what one mother once told him.
I think the nicest thing was your pictures, your photos. I can't explain it. They do something, they say something, and that's exciting. I think that was probably when she came up and told me that, and she couldn't find words. It made me feel really good, and that means that she's probably seeing more than I actually see, and that's what art is. Art is you hope that, yes, art for art's sake, etc., and photos for your own self, but you hope that people like what you're capturing and that you're doing something that's worthwhile.
Coming up next, we talk with a powerlifter who is turning heads at a local gym and at competitions. Out of Left Field is brought to you in part by Coordinated Health Hazleton Campus. Welcome back to Out of Left Field, where you get a unique view of local sports. Kassy Kozel, a high school and college track athlete, wasn't ready to let go of her athletic career after graduation, so she picked up 300-some pounds and deadlifted it. Now she's creating a buzz in the powerlifting world and reaching for the stars in her new sport. Even before she stepped foot in the powerlifting room, 24-year-old Kassy Kozel was making an impression at Iron House Gym in Hazleton.
I knew she was extremely athletic. We would play basketball outside, and she would be killing all the guys in basketball, like literally beating all the guys in basketball. So I knew she was explosive, I knew she was athletic, and then what I saw her lifting on her own and saw what she could lift without any direction, I knew she would be great at this.
2 years after joining the gym, her name is now up on the lifting record boards and her powerlifting trophies are on display on a shelf. It's not like Kozel walked in off the street and started dominating. Kozel played basketball at the Hazleton Area High School and was a standout on the track team. What was the height of your athletic career, you think, before this?
Probably when I ran track in high school, we set records for like the 4x4, the 4x8. I hold the school record in the 800, so that kind of
not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Kozel went on to run track at Misericordia University, and after graduation, she missed competing. She found a new home at Iron House Gym, a new sport in powerlifting, and a new coach named Tommy Farah.
She was natural. With her, it's just, a matter of calming her down. She never actually knows how good she really is. She's pretty humble about it, and that's the best part about training her, is that, she compares herself to the best in the world, not the best in the area. So every time she goes somewhere, she crushes the competition, but she's always striving for more, and that's what makes it great to train her because, like I said, it's never good enough. She's always striving for more.
How good is Kozel? She won her first 4 powerlifting events and now has her eyes on winning nationals and representing the United States in world competitions. How humble is Kozel? Here's what happened at the end of our first interview. Listen for her coach, Farah's voice. Anything else I should have or hit on, or anything else you can think of?
She's being modest. She won best lifter at every meet.
Okay, so let's go back to that. So what is that best lifter? When you get that award, what all goes into that?
So the best lifter award, it's taking into consideration all the female lifters, all the weight classes. There's a certain formula that they use to determine the best lifter. It's called a Wilks score.
Here's how Kozel handles all of the attention and compliments.
I'm so humbled, and it's so amazing to see the other lifters at the gym who also do amazing things, put in so much effort, so much time to, look at me and think, hey, like, she's doing the same thing I'm doing. Kind of goes, hand in hand, and we have an appreciation for one another.
Nothing comes easy in life. With success comes hard work. So let's see how Kozel plans to keep rising in the world of powerlifting. A powerlifting competition is broken up into 3 events. One is squatting.
Again, what we're looking for on the squat is when she goes down, the crease of the hip has to go below the knee. So when you get down, you have to get to a depth like this, where the knee is sitting here and the crease of the hip is back like this. When you're in competition, you're gonna have a judge right in front and a judge on the side here and a judge on the side here, and they're looking to make sure you break that and bring it back up, lock the knees out, and you're in full control. Also, when you step back with the weight, they're gonna give you a command to squat. So you wait for that command, go down, perform the squat, lock it back out, bring it back in.
I mean, I never thought I would do competitive powerlifting. Honestly, I didn't even know what powerlifting was until I joined the gym here 2 years ago. If I would look back 3 years ago and think, I'm gonna squat like 330 pounds, I'd be like, absolutely not, like my back would break. But it's amazing what the human body can do and what it can handle.
From behind the camera, it seemed that Kozel was flying through her squats with ease, so I asked her if that indeed was the case and how her body was feeling.
Shoulders feel good. It's more the leg drive, like the eccentric lowering. You kind of have to really control, and then once you feel your hips breaking parallel, then you gotta pop right back up.
Can you compare it to having something on your back? I mean, I don't know, what's 200 some pounds? I mean, what does it feel like?
Like 4 of Tommy.
Where is this weight at? Is this a lightweight for you?
It's a lighter weight for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not, the exertion right now, you're sweating a little bit.
Sweating a little bit, nothing too crazy.
So what are you going for? Is this more of a form, just warming up, or is this a form?
This is more working on volume, like more reps, more sets, just to build some of that strength up. Yep.
Another event at powerlifting competitions is the deadlift.
2 different variations of the deadlift. There's the sumo deadlift, which she does, which is a wider stance deadlift. You need a little more hip flexibility for that, and it's more quad dominant. So if you're stronger in your quads, that's kind of the way you want to do it. And there's the conventional deadlift, which is the narrower stance. It's what I use. It's a more hamstring, butt and back dominant, and it's a narrower stance that you pull up from. She uses sumo. It's a shorter range of motion. But again, you need more hip flexibility to be able to do that. It doesn't matter in competition which one you use. They both have their strengths, they both have their weaknesses. Usually sumo is kind of difficult for the bigger guys because they can't get the hip flexibility to get down like that. She's an athlete. She could get down and snap right up, get her hips into it.
So my first ever powerlifting competition, my max deadlift at the time was I think 300. So for my last attempt for my deadlift, I decided to go full send, 330, and I pulled that. It was difficult, but I was able to successfully get the lift. And now it's so crazy to think that was my best lift 1 year ago for my deadlift, and now I'm doing it for my sets.
There's also bench pressing at a powerlifting competition. Did you notice what I noticed about Kozel's workout on this day?
Do you always smile when you're done? I noticed after each thing you were smiling, looking at Tommy.
Yeah,
Smile?
always a smile. Successful lift, non-successful lift, always a smile. I just love doing it.
Her smile doesn't mean that the work is easy. I asked Kozel what she feels like after a competition.
Honestly, I feel like I got hit by a truck. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm sore for a week, and then I usually take that whole week off from the gym and then start back up the following week.
Kozel has a full-time job as an occupational therapist and still makes it to Iron House 5 days a week for 2 to 2.5 hours a day. What motivates her to go to the gym after a long day at work should terrify her competition.
Does it motivate you to push yourself, or do you just want to compete against other people and win?
Oh no, I just want to push myself.
Okay, so
every time I compete, I feel like I left so much more on the platform. I felt like I could have lifted so much more than what I had done, which is why I keep going after it time after time again.
There's one other piece of information from this story that I wanted to share with you, but I didn't know where to fit it in, and you'll see why in a moment because it is kind of random, but interesting.
So I used to compete in the RPS, Powerlifting Federation, and they give those cool skull trophies that you saw up there. So during the Christmas Carnage meet in New Jersey, I won Best Lifter, and I was expecting to just get a trophy, but when they handed me the machete, I thought it was a prank at first, but no, my Best Lifter award was indeed a big, 3-foot-long machete.
It's got to be a good talking piece, at the house or that, to be like, oh, hey, wait a second, check this out.
Oh yeah, no, my Nana's like, you get that out of my house, I don't want that in there.
I mean, that story was perfect for Out of Left Field, and so is our next segment as we play a little trivia game with the Mahanoy Area High School football team captains. Out of Left Field is brought to you in part by Coordinated Health Hazleton Campus. Thank you for coming back and watching this edition of Out of Left Field. Have you ever watched a football game and wondered what house of Hogwarts would the cornerback want to be in? We talk pop culture and so much more during this trivia game with the Mahanoy Area High School football team captains.
Hello and welcome to The Mental Game, a battle of brain power. I'm Ken Cara, your host, joined by the Mahanoy Area football captains. We're going to see which set of two here, who has the highest intellect. And so far, the two over here, Danny Lawrence and Hayden Wall, you guys said you think you're going to win. And then we have Alexis Perez along with Tony Merchlinsky. Well, before we get into the game, let's get to know our contestants.
Quarterback and safety Danny Lawrence eats up yards on the field and chicken wings off of it.
Where would you want free food for a year?
Hot wings from the Red Zone in town.
Okay. Do you usually frequent there? Is that
Yeah, I would say I'm a regular, so they usually know my order when I'm walking in. So
what do you get?
dozen hot wings, blue cheese and celery. If I have a little spare money, extra fries.
Lawrence is near the top of his senior class and has dreams of going to Army West Point and serving his country. His trivia teammate and football co-captain Hayden Wall is a slot back and cornerback who wants to corner the market in business.
I'm a guy that's a big dreamer, right? So they can be good at their calculus, but when my business takes off.
What do you have a business idea, or do you not want to share it with us? Just in case?
I'm actually working on a business idea
You don't have to share it if you don't want
for a Bloomsburg competition. It's going to be almost like a Shark Tank type event.
Is that through school?
Yeah, and I will be there introducing my idea. You could all wait for it in your local store.
Wall would like to be an ROTC in college and eventually enlist in the Air Force. Alexis Perez started playing football in 7th grade, and since then he's become a go-to player for the Golden Bears.
Football was great for me 7th grade because that was the first sport I had been in, and after that I started getting into other sports, and that's when I started wrestling and track, and it just built into me like to work hard and I'll get better and better, and it definitely helped even in school and stuff. Give me something to be motivated towards.
Perez plans on becoming a mechanical engineer. His teammate Tony Merchlinsky wants to study communications or political science and get into law or politics after college. Here he talks about his early football career.
I've been playing since kindergarten flag football. Used to be a skill position, got a little bit bigger, played offensive line. I've been Danny center since as long as I can remember.
But don't think Merchlinsky is going to take it easy on his quarterback here in the mental game. It's time. Let's trivia.
What's the minimum weight of an American football? It's in ounces.
12.
12, okay. You guys want to guess? So,
18.
18. You said 12, it's 14 ounces. Yeah, so I remember soccer balls had different sizes. Like the first time you picked up a high school ball, was it a little, like, did it fit in your hand? Was it a little awkward?
Yeah, I mean, I was a ball boy, and just being a ball boy, like, kind of had to hold it with 2 hands to throw it around with Merch. He was the other ball boy.
So you guys were ball boys back in the day? Let's take a little break. So how did you get into that? I mean, how did you end up being a ball boy?
Before my dad became a wide receiver coach for the team, he did the video. He filmed for us. So
and how did you get your dad? Also, is your dad one of the coaches?
Yeah, my dad has been a coach since like he graduated high school. So
you guys were the ones running around the sidelines on like Friday nights. I mean, what were your thoughts then? Did you ever think like I'd be here senior year doing what you're doing right now? Or did it just seem too far off? Or you didn't think about that?
I don't know, back then that was scary when the refs would yell at you if you didn't have the ball. I think that's much scarier than playing in a varsity game.
The refs would yell at you? What if you didn't have the ball already? I guess they wanted to go, right? Like they were, Danny, you seem like you have a memory.
there was actually a time where I guess I was standing too close to the sideline. All I was behind the line, and he pushed me. The ref, because he had to. I guess it was so important that he had to run down the sideline.
And you guys stuck with football. This didn't turn you. You were like, I'm gonna keep with this no matter what. Do you have a better relationship with the referees now?
I would say yes. I do.
Yes, because no one's being pushed around.
Yeah, none of the refs have pushed me yet. So,
what symbol shares a key with the number 4 on a standard computer keyboard?
The $sign?
The $sign. Oh, here's another movie one. Make him an offer.
He can't refuse.
Oh. You seem very excited about that. Are you a Godfather fan?
I'm Italian.
Okay. So is that a yes to that?
Yeah.
After Twilight, what are the next 3 books of Stephanie Meyer's vampire series?
Breaking Dawn.
Breaking Dawn is one of them, yes.
Eclipse.
Oh, Eclipse is one of them. That is. Are you just going from what you heard, like movie trailers?
Yeah.
And okay.
I'm not proud of this, but I read them.
You read the Twilight books? You say you're not proud of it? Were they good? Did you enjoy them?
At the time they were good, but it's just I was really into reading at a young age, so
just
I
grab
was
every
like
book
reading
you
whatever
possibly could. My wife's embarrassed reading Harry Potter right now. I'm like, why are you embarrassed?
It's the best book series ever.
Danny, you seem like you're a big Harry Potter fan. You want to grab the mic?
I hate Harry Potter.
You hated it?
I love the Lord of the Rings though.
Okay, so you're more of a Lord of the Rings guy.
And the Hobbit, yeah.
And why is that? Is it just out of spite? You're like, I'm a Lord of the Rings guy, so I'm not getting into this Harry Potter character?
I mean, I grew up watching it, and like, I don't know, this might sound weird. I don't know. I just like it because it's just like good over evil.
Just to state, Harry Potter would definitely whoop the Lord of the Rings. That's not even
false.
What house would you be in Harry Potter?
You gotta go Gryffindor.
Slytherin.
Slytherin, really?
I'm the bad guy.
Tony, let me ask you, out of all the captains, would he be the bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now that this is a word problem. No buzzing in or anything. You guys could go and work on this. If you want me to re-ask the question after here, if you're going to work on it, let me know. Okay. Saquon Barkley's jersey number plus the total score from last year's Shenandoah Valley Mahanoy area football game minus the amount of yards lost for offensive holding equals. But you said you never got a holding penalty in your life. Is this a true statement?
Maybe not life, but in high school career,
No kidding.
I never
I don't
did.
want to jinx you. Like after this happened.
Yeah, I hope not. Yeah, no, I never have
How
one.
do you do that? Like just clean, like
Good blocking.
Why do you think it does happen, though? Do you think it's a tired thing, or do you think it's just like, I'm going to see if I can get away with it, a combination of everything?
Yeah, sometimes you get beat, you don't really realize it, and you could just throw an arm out there and try and grab them.
Okay, block me. Like, if you were coming at me, to block me properly. If you don't have to kill me. Last time I did this, someone almost killed me, so go ahead.
Down, set, hut.
Yeah. Like, so I would have to try to get past you like this.
Yeah.
So if I went this way, you would go. Dude, you're like a brick wall. That is crazy. Saquon Barkley's jersey number, which I'm on 26. Okay, we can all agree on that. Plus the total score from last year's Shenandoah Valley Mahanoy area football game. I had 45 plus 20, 65
Yeah.
for that. And then minus the amount of yards lost for offensive holding, minus 10, correct?
Yeah.
Which is?
81.
81, okay. And you, how many points did you wager?
All of them, 13 and a half.
All 13 and a half. You guys were that confident. I don't know what high school kids like anymore, so I got that from Walmart. Now, hang on, Alexis, you might really like this. Space Jam movie poster. And it matches your shirt, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, here, can you just like pose with the poster? I mean, yeah, just like pose with it. I'm gonna go on this side. Look at that. Now, Michael Jordan's not in it, probably for licensing reasons, because it was only $3 and it's a little beat up, but you always remember. I mean, I saw the Toon Squad cert, and I'm gonna be honest, guys, I was kind of rooting for you guys to win. Do you like Space Jam? I mean,
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
I've been waiting for Space Jam 2 since I was like
forever?
Yes.
I apologize for these presents too. It was great just getting to know you guys a little bit more. Honestly, with football season, good luck, and thank you all for playing. This has been, what did I call this thing? The Mental Game, a battle of brain power with the Mahanoy area football team. The board game I used for the questions was called No, and it uses Google Assistant. It's pretty cool. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks to the Mahanoy area captains, Kassy Kozel and Bob Gaetano, for sharing their stories, and to all of you for watching. Till next time, take it easy.